So, how about them video games, huh?
Love the Game Gear. God damn it! Did you pick up your Game Gear? I have my Game Gear and I didn't get it. God damn.
What? I'm playing some Shinobi right now. I don't know what you're doing.
I should get some Shinobi up.
Fuck yeah, that road's really hard. How do people play Shinobi? Holy crap.
Well, what you need is the Eye of Prophecy.
Oh, the Eye of Prophecy would help, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Rough
shit.
Cuts. We watch Surf Ninjas.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Whoa! New Line Cinema presents an awesome, ripping, totally stoked
Get on with it.
new movie, Surf Ninjas. It's the story of these kids who get booted from their country by this evil dude.
That was then.
Now they're growing up in L.A. And their life's one major vacation.
It's got a waxy old man-to-wave friction-reducing vehicle. Surfboard.
But some gnarly ninjas give them a blast from their past.
Those boys die tonight.
So they gotta split with their one-eyed guru. Your highnesses. Huh? And go back and save their country. You gotta see Ernie Reyes Jr. Rob Schneider.
He can get a job as a sushi chef, no problem.
Wild Thing Tone Loc.
Brothers don't serve.
And Leslie Nielsen as Colonel Chi. In a film by Neil Israel. Surf Ninjas.
I love the part when I was like,
I'm your host, Ilion. This is my wonderful co-host, The Boix.
Yep.
And of course, we have a special guest this week, Ryudo.
Yeah, I get to watch video games and talk about video games. It's a video game
Yeah.
movie.
Welcome.
This movie did have more video game content than it has surf content, so I'll give it that.
It had more dogs than I was expecting, too. Oddly
Yeah.
enough.
Then we ended up with like 3 dogs. There was a few at the end I wasn't sure of, but there was a significant amount of dogs compared to everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there were more scenes with a dog in them than there were scenes with a surfboard in them.
That might be true, actually.
If you think about it.
Yeah, the dog at the beginning, the shirt on the dog, or the dog on the shirt.
Mhm,
Yeah, I
mhm.
think you're
Yeah.
actually, I think it's beating it out.
That's true.
Well,
Like, so, we watched Surf Ninjas, by the way.
mhm.
93. This is like middle of the early 90s, late 80s ninja craze of kids movies. There's like Three Ninjas, Beverly Hills Ninja Turtles. God, there's so many ninja movies. American Ninja.
Warriors of Virtue, if that counts.
Well, and I was gonna say, if you go just like slightly
Kid,
to the left, if you
kind
just
of,
go
but-
slightly to the left of that, exactly, you get Karate Kid, and you get like Samurai
Yeah.
Pizza Cats, and you get like all of the, you get
All the
all that
weird
stuff
stuff,
too,
yeah.
right? Like there was just this whole like martial arts ninja. I mean, you even have, oh god, what's the David Carradine like TV show?
Oh, I don't
The
even
martial arts.
remember.
God, what was that
Yeah.
called again? But that, well, like you get all kinds of stuff like that. Like it's just constant in that time where everything was martial arts of some kind. Generally ninjas, but every once in a while you'd get other things.
Yeah, there were also like tons of ninja video games on the
Yeah.
NES. And
Like Shinobi for the Game Gear.
Shinobi for the Game Gear. To be fair, I played that Game Gear for that like intro and it's dead. Those batteries are gone.
Oh god.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I
That's
got.
it. You're not. You don't have a prophecy to keep it battery charged the entire time. It's a goddamn shame.
No. You can actually mod the Game Gear nowadays for USB-C with a lithium-ion battery, but
Ooh.
it still dies in 10 seconds. It's the damnedest thing. Oh, man.
Oh god.
I have Game Gear facts.
And
Don't
mods at the
understand.
same time.
Yeah.
So let's discuss Surf Ninjas. This is a Rob Schneider joint. Hooray!
and Leslie Nielsen, which is an actor I thought I liked until we started doing the podcast, and now I'm like, I don't know.
We'll put it this way: Leslie Nielsen has been in worse movies than Rob Schneider has.
I don't know
Just
if
a
that's
straight up.
true.
It's a straight up fact. Hey, listen. Do I need to pull out? Do we have to rewatch Kevin of the North?
We do not need to rewatch Kevin of the North.
Okay, then there you go.
Ryudo does not know about Kevin of the North. It is probably the worst quote unquote comedy I've ever seen. So
Oh, that's
Yeah,
terrifying.
It's not close. It's not close for me. And like we've watched The Animal. we've watched a lot of the Rob Schneider and like Adam Sandler kind of joint. It's worse than any of those that I've seen.
Oh, wow. Okay,
It-
that's
it out-
hitting
it
pretty bottom of the
out-
barrel.
Yeah, it out Adam Sandler's Adam Sandler, and it is
What?
a lot of Leslie Nielsen. Like,
Oh,
a
yeah, somehow,
lot
yeah.
of Leslie Nielsen.
That's something I would expect from like Rob Snyder and not Leslie Nielsen to out Adam
Right.
Sandler.
it turns out Leslie Nielsen was just in a lot of stinkers. He wouldn't say no. He just always
Mhm.
said yes to everything. So
It gave him a paycheck.
yeah.
Speaking of things that he said yes to, we've got Surf Ninjas, which contains very few surfs and ninjas. It's very little of either.
There was a
ninjas-
very significant point where the movie did just turn off the ninja and turned on the surf for like a little bit longer,
Yeah.
and then it just switched off both.
It's like
Mhm,
slowly
mhm.
turning a dial that says surfing ninjas and looking at the audience.
Yeah, looking back for approval.
Oh, that's too many. That's too many.
Yeah,
Let's
does
turn
do
it
anything for
down.
anyone? Come on.
Unfortunately, they broke the knob about halfway through, and neither of them showed up again. Like, that was and then, like after about an hour of trying to fix the knob, they managed to like turn it on a little bit, and they kind of like wobble in a little bit of surf at the end. They
right.
forgot
With
the ninja.
question mark ninja.
True.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be ninjas at the end.
They front loaded the ninjas.
If you describe the film though, so like Leslie Nielsen is a robotic samurai, half cyborg samurai, who is trying to kill these two kids who end up being princes of a kung fu empire with ninjas, and then they surf at the end kind of sometimes when they feel like it. Like that sort of sounds like it could be a good movie in some way. I guess.
The thing
You
is,
know
like
what?
the
I
way
think
you
this movie is a good movie in
Yeah.
some way.
in very some ways, and it's like the way you explained it does a better job of explaining the movie than how the movie like pushes you in to how it explains itself.
Oh
Yeah, it has an identity problem, I think, is the main problem. But yeah.
Mhm.
A common theme with pretty much all of the Rough Cuts stuff that we watch is that us explaining things fills in a lot of gaps that you don't actually get while watching the movie. Like, while you're watching the movie, we can sum it up afterwards because we're like, okay, I can kind of piece together what they were trying to do, and we kind of set that down. But most of the time when you're watching the movie for 45 minutes, you're like, wait, why the fuck are we in this scene? Oh, I guess that they're trying to say this, and then we just kind of brush over it on the podcast and then explain it. And that feels a lot like this movie. This one starts out with these kids in school who it's a 15-year-old, he's almost 16, and like his younger, like 10-year-old brother.
Probably
something
10,
like
around
that.
there, yeah.
Yeah. And they're just like rad surfer dudes who just want to skip school and hate their dad, who also before the movie started told them that they were adopted. The scene that we
true.
don't get. Like,
yeah, that's off camera.
30
I mean,
seconds before the start of the movie, he tells them this, and we come in mid-conversation of him telling them, no, you're not my sons.
Well, you know it's a Rough Cuts movie because there's a dead dad in the first 10 seconds.
Oh,
That's how it works.
Yeah,
That's a dog movie.
that's a dog movie.
I know a dog movie. Someone's dead in the family. One of the parents, and I mean that works.
It's so weird that they just decide to start from there.
Well, they're adopted, but they also adopted Rob Schneider. It's kind of like when you bring a dog home and you're like, can we keep him?
Except for the fact it's a dog like walking through the front door, and you can't get rid of him because there's food in the area.
Oh yeah,
And that's literally the truth, actually, for the movie. There's food in the area, so Rob stays.
Don't your parents ever feed you, huh? And don't they ever provide you with clothing, except for my boxer shorts?
I'd like to say that you're both just besmirching the fine names of dogs. We don't have to have everything be a dog. Rob Schneider is a rat, and they left out some meat. That's the problem. They're infested. This is not a pet. This is a pest.
No, that's a different movie.
Pest.
Yeah, The Pest is a different movie. That's a John, John
Leguizamo,
what the hell's his name? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Luigi.
Luigi.
Our favorite,
God
Luigi
damn it.
Mario.
You have to do it. You have to do it. Anyway. But yeah, Rob is in the kitchen making beet omelets.
Yeah.
Beets?
Because
Canned
you can't
beet
have Rob
omelets.
Schneider on screen
Yeah.
and not make a gross food. That's just like a requirement of his contract.
Yeah.
But-
And then they end up driving to school in their open air Jeep, and they go moto surfing in their car.
Moto surf!
Above the drums, the bass, the flute, the harmonica.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the coolest activity in this side of Hawaii, California. I didn't actually locate the place
Yeah,
yet.
and it's a weird alternate universe where the cops only pull over white people.
Holy shit.
I mean, well, we'll get to that part later.
Well, for
but
moto
I was going to say,
surfing.
it
For
is
moto
actually
surfing,
completely like reversed.
Yes.
God damn.
But yeah, for moto surfing, the thing that you do, when you like put your you jump out and you're not on the wheel anymore and you're like waving your hands, moto surfing, the thing
Yeah.
that everyone knows about.
We all
The
do
thing-
that.
Yeah, you have some oars in your car, and you just start pretending that you're rowing your car along the street. Dangerous.
the
Yeah, who
oars
didn't do
is
that
the
when they
weird
were in high
part,
school?
to be honest. Why do they?
The oars is the commonality point, which is insane.
Because the cops pull over this like I don't know, jock. This white jock.
Yeah, this
and
real
he's like,
preppy white kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Johnny
he's like, I wasn't
Guy.
moto surfing. Oh, then what are these oars doing in your Jeep?
you doing with these oars?
What? What the fuck does that even mean?
I mean,
There's some
what is he
deep
doing with those
lore in
oars
this
if he's not
movie.
motor surfing, huh?
Yeah, what else would you do with oars? Boix, would you like to explain?
Row a fucking boat? A canoe? I don't.
Nerd.
You god lame.
Yeah. Next,
Wow,
you're gonna say you
brah.
put Yowie on one of them.
Wow. Okay. No, that's true. I do that. But
Yeah, they all have Yowie paddles and they're just like, no,
Yeah,
we were
Yowie
moto
paddles.
surfing, officer, I swear.
yeah, that's
no,
what it
officer,
was.
I swear these are just pizza paddles. We use them to make pizzas. Why does this say Yowie on it? And then they're wearing bracelets that say "I glump for pizza" or something.
Oh my god.
Fuck. Anyway, they go to school, and then the sanitation truck drives up, and it's full of fucking sanitation ninjas or whatever. For some
There was a
unexplained reason.
There was a scene before this too with a couple of ninjas that try to attack them. They're walking out of the house and a guy
yeah.
jumps down behind them, like this ninja, just immediately.
Mm-hmm.
In the first 3 minutes of this movie. And he gets taken out by it seemed like an old man at first in a robe, but he's not that old. He's just like 30s, something like that. And he's got a big eye patch on, and so he's protecting these kids as they're going about their day, beating up all of the sanitation ninjas and the roof ninjas, and one guy climbs in a window at the school at one point. There's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
Like the camouflage they're wearing is like blue urban, so it's really hard to see, right?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. With the yellow sands and the sunlight in the middle of the day.
Standing in
Oh,
front of the
mhm.
window. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really embarrassing.
They have like, I think his name is Baba Ran, which is
yes.
a very bad joke.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be like the Dalai Lama that shows up to their school, and and they're introducing him to like the class, and like I guess I don't know, he's not some show that they're putting on, but for some reason they think Barbara Ann is a really funny joke to the kids, and it's unexpected, mind you. I guess this is basically the Dalai Lama is what they're getting. Oh fuck! Okay, I wasn't. You know, that's fucking good. I don't care. But they put on a
I wish that we
Barbara
didn't
Ann
have
show,
to
and
talk about this scene. Can I
it's
just say,
bad? Yeah,
somehow it comes back, so we have to.
We
Like,
have to.
important.
There's a full circle twice on this.
mhm.
it
So
sucks.
he's
I don't
this-
know why
he's
it's
this
important, but-
dignitary, and the main kid is supposed to be doing a greeting for him for some reason.
Like a speech, yeah.
Yeah, there's some speech. We have no idea why he's picked.
Right?
I like the only
Why?
reason that I can think of is racism, which
It must be.
honestly that seems
Yeah,
like
They
exactly the
explicitly
reason.
say it though, because the principal is like, we need an Asian American kid to
Oh,
introduce
does he
it.
say it? Oh,
They
fuck, I missed that.
explicitly state it's
Okay.
racist.
Oh, they
Okay,
said it?
Yeah, the reason is
Yeah.
racism. Well, that's good because we're about to get
Yeah.
more racism.
Yeah,
I
it only goes
guess.
downhill from there. That's actually the most respectable point so far, and will be the most respectable
Ugh.
point for the entire movie.
So he gets up on stage and goes to do his speech and instead launches into Barbara Ann, but instead replacing it with like Balaran. I think it was
Baba-
Balaran.
I thought it was like Baba Yan.
I
or
thought it was
something like
Baba
that.
Ran is what I thought it was.
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
It's
so
the
they
laziest
changed it
joke.
slightly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they have a full stage show, so that's kind of it's unexpected. So it kind of gets like a little bit of that out of you.
It's like when you're watching a movie and then a freight train crashes into the wall of your house. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, you
It-
just have
it's
to laugh a
irrelevant-
little bit.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to the next scene, but they set that up as like a comeback later, I guess. Whatever. Anyways, they go home to the restaurant that their adoptive father owns, I think.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And they're
Yeah, it's a
talking.
burger joint, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, yeah," because they're just talking, and then
Yeah.
the eye patch guy shows up again.
Yeah,
one who's been
outside of
beating
the
up the
window, just
ninjas.
standing outside of the window in his like tattered raincoat.
Yeah, and he's just staring creepily at them. They're like, "Oh my god, the boogeyman's here." They're like, "That's not the boogeyman. That's Sagat. He's here. It's Sagat."
Watch out for his
Tiger
tiger
knee!
shots.
Tiger knee. Tiger.
Yeah,
Tiger.
Tiger uppercut.
Shit.
Damn, he's good.
And as he walks in, he's like, "Hey, I'm Sagat." Then a bunch of ninjas just start breaking through all the windows in the joint, ignoring the door.
Right. And so does Sagat, though, is the big thing, because the ninjas broke into the window, and so what does Sagat do to enter the building? He just continues to destroy the window to gain entry to fight these ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that?
Hey, listen, we had like 5 sheets of sugar glass, and it turns out we only had 4 ninjas. So you want to have some fun? And I mean,
yeah,
yes, we do. So, fair enough.
So they start beating up the ninjas, but then more come. So Sagat takes the kids and also Rob Schneider for some god awful reason out of the restaurant, leaving their father behind so that he dies to the ninjas. Hopefully, that's his plan, to save them a little time. I think. I don't know what the hell his plan was.
Yeah, and somehow he didn't leave Rob Schneider for this.
Yeah, what?
Right.
There's a lot of perfect opportunities to murk Rob Schneider, and they just never go for it.
It's not a very
Truly
brave movie,
unfortunate.
apparently.
No, but they jump under the boardwalk, and this is the moment where it's time for an exposition. Oh boy.
Yeah, 20 minutes in, we can finally learn what the fuck is happening.
But first he has to tell Rob Schneider to shut the fuck up again. You must be quiet now.
Quiet! You must be quiet.
Right. Yeah.
So he tells them
one of those other moments again that
Oh,
we
yeah,
talk
go
about a lot. Sorry, I apologize. I just had to say it's one of those moments that we get a lot in these movies where it's like, okay, telling us why the movie is bad doesn't make it better. We all want Rob Schneider to shut up. We get it.
Right. But no one's
Yeah.
pumping the brakes on that one.
No, sadly.
It's a shame. So he tells the two boys that they are both two princes. That's what I said now. And they have a big flashback to their home country on an island full of a glorious kingdom, which is then attacked by Leslie Nielsen dressed as a samurai for some reason. And he's the only royal guard they have of all the royal guard. The one. That's him. I'm
That's
the
him.
royal guard.
There's those two people with fans that let him escape. That's maybe
true.
Royal Guard. Maybe there's royal dancers and they just happen to be in the area.
Could be, yeah. And Leslie Nielsen is attacking him, and he like slashes his eye, so that's where he gets the eye patch by having ketchup laid on his face.
Yeah, he has
In
a
a
small.
lie. Yeah.
There's a little bit of ketchup from Leslie Nielsen's blade because he was making some burgers earlier, and it just gets in his eye. It's really dangerous stuff. You can always go blind from
Yeah, there's sugar
foreign
in
objects in
that,
the eye.
like,
It's real
yeah.
important to keep your eyes protected.
Yeah.
And then I think Sagat. I'm just gonna call him Sagat from here.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He like punches Leslie Nielsen while holding the baby, one of the two babies, I guess. In his
Oh
hand.
yeah, he does the
That-
baby launcher.
Yeah, because he throws the baby a lot and runs with the baby and shakes the baby,
Oh,
which you're supposed to do. I learned that from Babysitting Mama on the Wii. Supposed to do that.
And I don't know about you all also as we were talking about Leslie Nielsen, attacking the
Yeah.
kingdom and whatnot. This is not handled seriously either. Leslie Nielsen's like comedically tripping around and kind of getting bumped around and stuff like that. And I think it's just at this point in the movie it's like, oh, they have two very awful conflicting styles of comedy trying to go into this, and they're both feel awful on its own. And between Rob Schneider and Leslie Nielsen, and now it's just getting close to like them clashing, and I'm just like fearing for the moment that they are ever going to come in contact. Which is weird.
There's these two black holes on either side of the movie that are
Yeah.
slowly, through their gravitational pull, getting closer and closer to a finale, and you're like, oh god, I don't even want to know.
No, I don't want either side of this, and now I'm just getting torn in half by this.
Yeah, because like Leslie's trying to do his classic like slapstick airplane jokes,
Mhm.
and then Rob Schneider is just being an asshole the whole time and saying racist shit constantly, and it's just like, shut the fuck up, Rob.
Which really leads into the next scene, honestly.
Yeah. So, but Leslie Nielsen gets stepped on by an elephant, and that was the cyborg.
I forgot about
Here's the trick, Ryudo. Racism leads into every scene in this movie.
Oh god, yeah.
So the boys get picked up by a cop who is played by Tone Loc, the rapper behind Funky Cold Medina. Not a character Tone Loc, the rapper Tone Loc.
Yes. Yeah.
And he drops them off at their uncle's house, which is the racist wheelchair-bound Rob Schneider. Great.
You must be quiet.
Anyways, so as they're in the house, Sagat is there too, I think, and they're just kind of talking more about what to do next. And the younger brother is playing his Sega Game Gear. And as he puts in Shinobi for the Sega Game Gear, which you could buy now for the low cost of $49.95 at your local Target.
Or Toys R Us. Toys R
Or
Us.
Toys R Us.
Oh, yeah, I got KB
Or
Toys
KB
and stuff like
Toys,
that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The game changes, and it shows the Surf Ninja symbol from the poster.
Crown Prince Ada would become a true visionary.
That's weird. Where's Shinobi? I thought I was playing Shinobi.
And it shows him wearing a headband and doing ninja stuff. And then it starts showing like ninjas outside killing cops, like just breaking their necks and like stabbing them, which is a pretty cool video game. And then some ninjas show up outside and they start killing cops and breaking their necks.
Which is a pretty cool part of this movie if you think about it.
And they say video games aren't art.
And then the Game Gear starts mimicking real life. But they don't really acknowledge it yet because Sagat just like turns on the gas oven and sets a candle and they just fucking cheese it.
And this is the
And leave.
highest concentration of ninjas we've received in the entire movie and will receive in the entire movie. They blew their ninja budget on this one.
These ninjas are having a real good time because they're like going up 3 steps, doing backflips, and like it's
There's
they're
like
putting
20
in
of them.
So much effort for so little distance.
Yeah, I was happy with how many extras they had in this. We were talking about that at the time, Ryudo and myself were like, I mean, they went all in on the ninja part of this one. Unfortunately, they blew the ninja budget early because they just stopped doing them eventually, pretty much right after this.
Like, literally, we don't see any other ninjas from this point onward.
No.
Yeah, I don't think the ninjas show up at all, actually.
No, because when we get to the island where General Chi, Leslie Nielsen's character, is running things, they're all just soldiers then. Like, they're no longer ninjas.
They have guns and army stuff, and that doesn't really make sense.
Actually, the roles get reversed, honestly. It's like the main characters become the ninjas who just happen to know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's weird. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I don't know what movie they were trying to make.
They didn't either. This movie goes through some wild tonal shifts and like plot shifts that just don't really follow or make sense.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Tone Lock, the lieutenant who they had called as earlier, just kind of randomly joins them at one point. We'll get to that, but his motivations, they're like, well, why would you want to join? He goes, I don't know, I need a vacation. This seems fun.
Right.
Like,
Whatever.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So as they're leaving the house, Rob Schneider says something like, wow, wouldn't it be weird if like the house we just left exploded or something? Haha.
Mm-hmm.
And then the house explodes, and he's like, holy shit, I have X-Men powers.
Yeah, I'm a brain genius. I can just will things into existence by coincidence.
I don't think you want to go back there, man. Our pal Long John Silver here left the gas on. Real bright. I mean, what if the house blows up? Oh!
I have to admit, I did laugh a fair bit at just the way that he delivered the like, well, what if that house blows up? Because the setup for this is that the protector man, Sagat, turns on all the gas in the house and puts in a candle and like a match to set up a trap and blow the house up. And then he's like, that was real dangerous back there. I can't believe you left that gas on. Like, what if the house blows up? Which is just, I don't know.
That was the whole point?
Yeah. Did you not? How'd you not understand the plan?
It's a decent enough joke when it was delivered well, and it's the one time that I will give Rob Schneider credit for delivering a joke reasonably well.
So Sagat tells the boys, hey, by the way, again, you're princes, and now that you don't have a home because it just accidentally blew up for some reason spontaneously on its own, which I didn't cause, we should go back to your home, island and take it back. It's your destiny. You have to do this because I told you and also forced you into this.
But first, we need to go and find out some of your subjects. Let's go down to the local fast food Chinese place.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the Imperial Palace.
But before that, he does call the two boys princes, and he's like, oh, are you going to bring this commoner, Rob Schneider, with you? This absolute buffoon? This stupid jester? This absolute failure of a human being, Rob Schneider?
But what of this one? The commoner.
And then
it was weird that he said it by name, but,
Yeah.
couldn't disagree.
That's not his character name either.
Right,
so
right. No, he just showed up to the set.
Like, the whole movie's hinting at, Rob, get the fuck off the set. Every scene.
We keep trying to give him more money to leave, but he won't accept it.
He doesn't take the hint. It's like, But yeah, they show up to the incredibly racist restaurant scene.
Well, it's not just racist. We also get a whole lot of weird misogyny kind of stuff because then the 15-year-old kid, just want to emphasize that again for a moment, is in an arranged marriage from his father that he's never met. and it's with the restaurant owner's daughter, who he's like, well, this is fucked up. I shouldn't be in an arranged marriage. But then he sees that she's hot. So then he's all for it now.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, they show that off. It sucks. And then the next day, the younger brother is playing on the Sega Game Gear again, which you can buy now at your local KB Toys. More games out this Christmas. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have a tie-in game. Check out Surf Ninjas for the Sega Game, which is a different game. Actually, quick aside, I've played a little bit of Surf Ninjas on the Sega Game Gear. It is very Hokuto no Ken for the Master System.
Oh, really? Oh, that's not
it's
good.
It's just Kung Fu on Genesis, basically.
Yeah.
It's real bad. It's real bad. And it's nothing like the game in the movie, which is false advertising if you think about it. Fuckers.
I don't want to think about it. Anyway, keep going.
So they
don't make me think about Surf Ninjas, the video game.
Oh,
the younger brother sees some ninjas attacking the restaurant in his Sega Game Gear. And guess what? There's ninjas attacking the restaurant, but in real life, not just in his Sega Game Gear.
Ooh.
Guys, look at this.
So they go in and they have a fight scene with all these ninjas. And the older brother, like, his legs start shaking and his arms start shaking and he's just doing a wiggle. And then the spirit of Bruce Lee inhabits his body. It's like a possession of
It
ghosts.
looks so weird. He just starts wobbling like Jello.
I was jokingly theorizing that this was puberty happening and he just gained Bruce Lee powers. I guess. It doesn't really make any sense why it happened, other than that it's his destiny.
Right. Mine was more like a Jackie Chan thing, honestly, so I can understand the confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I had Chris Farley.
Oh.
It was not as good.
Hey, okay. Whoa, hey, ha, ha.
Iliad regrets.
The small child. I'm just we're moving on. This small kid. The other child is also going through puberty, and as is usual for children going through puberty, generally that's around the time when your body goes through a lot of changes, and you might have your psychic will become manifest in reality as a thing called a stand. Which is translated through his Game Gear, through which he uses an item in to pick up an octopus, which means, of course, an octopus appears in front of him in the fish tank, so he can grab it and throw it on a ninja's face and have it, like, start digesting his face or something, like octopus do.
Yeah, and he gets 500 points for it.
Yeah, that's the important part.
God, right. I forgot that he always keeps on going like, wow, high score every time that he does something.
Wow, gaming.
Whoa,
video games.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So they end up saving the arranged marriage wife from the ninjas, and
right.
Yeah, this movie is just like, wow, that's really funny. Holy shit, that's a downer.
Yeah, also, literally, yeah. You have this kind of funny
over.
moment, and then 5 seconds later, it's like, okay, what did he do with that? Oh, he saved his arranged child bride. You're like, that's significantly harder to laugh at now. Great, thanks, movie.
Yeah, so they're getting on a boat to go back to their island that they originally came from.
Mm-hmm.
And Tone Lock shows up and he's like, hey, I'm here to save you. You know, this Sagat guy is trying to kidnap you and take you to Street Fighter Island. Which is the plot of Street Fighter, just like Mortal Kombat. They both go to islands and fight in tournaments. I think. I played a Street Fighter.
You're right.
Yeah, they're like, Hadouken, Electric Blanca, Hector Broken. Yeah.
Fatality.
Yeah,
you got the Hadoukens coming up?
Hadouken, Sub-Zero. Hadouken!
Oh, Abracadabra!
I'm Electric Blanca Sub-Zero! That's a different...
I'm Chun-Li, I'm Sub-Zero!
That's a different franchise.
And then as Tone Loc is trying to save them, the younger brother's like, we're not being kidnapped. We're just conducting a revolution against the patriarchy and the monarchy. And we're going to take down this evil organization.
Let's go.
We're not being kidnapped. We're starting a revolution. Everything is cool.
Fuck the government.
And Tone Loc immediately becomes the only good cop and quits his job to join the revolution.
Well, he doesn't quite quit his job yet because Sagat gives him the good pinch.
Oh, yeah, the good pinch.
Oh, yeah,
The one that makes you orgasm asleep.
Yeah. Tone Loc, look, he was in a different world when those hands touched him. Kind of like, damn, I wish that were me.
Lieutenant, good night.
Yeah. Good night, baby.
Yeah, he wakes up on the boat after they arrive, and they're like, whoa, Tone Loc, are you going to arrest us? He's like, no, I'm just here for vacation now. And also, I feel like I should join you. Like, it's my destiny.
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 We're going to be hearing that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it's super weird. I don't... like, whatever. I guess they just need a Tone Loc there. Whatever.
Right. Which I agree. They needed Tone Loc
there, to be fair.
Tone
That
Loc
was the
is like
correct
the
answer.
anti-Rob Schneider.
Yes. It's the actual, like, no one in this movie, everyone's intended to be cool in this movie, but no one is cool in this movie except for, like, Tone Loc.
Tone Loc is badass, yeah.
100%.
The other weird thing is, this might fit into the spirit of Bruce Lee entering your body. The older brother gets more ripped as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Those
Which
90s
is
overalls
weird.
weren't doing anything for his body, but
See,
man, when he hit that island, he became tan and baby buttered up. Just like he get jacked.
It's like the classic hero arc, there's a transformation. It's like poetry, it rhymes,
Yeah, to continue the JoJo-ness of this kid is 15 again. I'm going to put up a picture of him when he's on the island arc of this anime that we watched. The island arc gets wild because he gets so fucking shredded. I'm going to put it up on, like I said, on the Twitter because, oh my god, this 15-year-old is just unbelievably jacked. Oh god, but so they make it to the island and they're trying to sneak across to get back to like the palace and take out General Chi.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I do want to mention one other joke that I did really like about the General Lee thing, or General Chi. Sorry.
Yeah.
There was one joke that Leslie Nielsen was doing this whole time that feels wildly out of place because it's so counter to Rob Schneider stuff going on. And it's just the Leslie Nielsen slapstick stuff, but he has a phone that is in his secret base that he keeps answering to give directives to his underlings, and he's always across the base from it, so he's always like running to it, and he has like this voicemail message, and I don't know why, but that just kind of got me every single time, because he's constantly like racing for the phone. He picks it up the one time after missing it, and he's like, wait, were you the ones that phoned me earlier? Like, I'm trying to figure out, they hung up, they didn't leave a message. No, it's not. Ah, god damn it. Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
Like, the early phone problems of the 90s, just amazing. I don't know, for some reason it just clicked.
Right,
it's a goofy
right.
joke. I don't think it fits the tone of the film.
No,
Anyway.
not at all.
Nothing does,
no.
for that matter, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with this movie, is that we have moments of, like, Tone Loc doing things that are really funny and badass, and you have, like, a couple of little jokes here and there from, like, Leslie Nielsen's side of the movie, but then it'll just immediately, like we said, hit, like, okay, haha, funny phone joke. Okay, what are we into next? Oh, child bride in racist restaurant. Great!
Yeah.
Like, it just, you're on this roller coaster.
Yeah, the setting's already kind of bad enough, but then you have Rob Schneider just really ringing it home with like, oh, now you're just saying the quiet part out loud and over and over and over again.
And he won't shut up. And they're going through the jungle to a song about them being in the jungle.
Yes!
Oh, we haven't mentioned the soundtrack. God, the fucking soundtrack sucks in this movie.
You'll
Every
be
song
proud to
is,
know.
like, Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say you'll be proud to know that I searched up the song in the meantime, and that song is appropriately named "Our Jungle."
Yeah. Every song
Mhm.
in this movie is just explaining what is happening on screen at the time it's happening, and it makes no sense. None of it fits the theme of a goofy surf ninja movie at all. I do want to
On
be
the
a little
nose.
fair because this is early 90s and this is when music was changing. So the Super Mario Brothers movie has the same problem, by the way, although I like that soundtrack, oddly enough. I ironically like that soundtrack. This one though is in that same, like, I don't know, music's changing. What the fuck do we put in here? Do we put like 80s, like classic rock? Do we put 60s surf music? What do we want? What is this movie? And they don't
Yes.
know because the culture hasn't changed yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm answering all your questions. The answer is yes. We put all of it in.
They just put everything in. They didn't
That's
think
what they
about
did.
it.
Yeah. They've
Yeah.
got the Barbara Ann jokes. They've got like, it's not Welcome to the Jungle when they go on the surfboards later, but it's basically that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just
It's just
yeah.
80s hair rock, yeah. It makes
Mhm.
no sense. None of it fits the theme at all, and I don't think they knew what the hell was going on or what they should do for the soundtrack. But they're walking through the jungle, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, tonight. And as they're walking through, Sagat's like, hey, we need to go get some knives. Oh, can't we just buy those at the store? You can't just buy knives. And this sets Rob Schneider off on a fucking tangent of 10 minutes of, oh, well, I could just go and cut this, but I can't go buy a knife.
We have to walk around for this rubber plant.
On the third day of the expedition, they came across a giant rubber plant. Unfortunately, they could not cut it down, for as we know, money can't buy knives. Walking around the plant, they continued on the shores of Patusan.
Because we can't cut it without a knife that we can't buy with money.
I have $100,000, but I can't buy any fucking knives. There's no knife stores.
And everybody is just so sick of him, and they're like, how the fuck do we shut Rob Schneider up?
Is there no way we could shut this chattering monkey up?
And Tone Lock
Tone Lock, yes.
coming in. Man, I love Tone Lock. Because Tone's like, well, I would stab Rob Schneider with a knife, killing him in a bloody pit of nothingness. But I can't buy a knife.
Yeah, he totally saves this entire joke. This stupid, really, really long tangent for no reason. And Tone Lock just comes in and sweeps it off at the end.
It's real good.
You know, I'd cut him, but I don't have a knife.
I love that, man.
Tone Lock is really like a saving grace for this movie, like in so many ways. He fits a role that just keeps, like you said, just sweeps off the joke. He's there to sweep off the joke extremely well.
He's there to save Rob Schneider's failures.
Right. And then Rob Schneider's the one who gets all the adoration and gets more movies.
It sucks. I don't.
Anyway. Past the knives, they go to a sacred temple site that he had because he needs to teach him more ninja ways, I guess. And so they have this big fight scene where / training montage thing with the main child and Sagat are fighting, and they're doing like all this spear fighting and sword fighting and different things. Finally, the child picks up a sacred sword that's in the middle of this temple, and a bunch of heavenly music comes in, and he gains his ultimate stand powers and has his ninja-ness confirmed, I guess. I don't know. He's suddenly absolutely shredded, does a big shirt ripper attack on Sagat to show off his prowess, and there you go.
You know what the cool surfer kids are into? Zorro jokes. That's what'll hit. They'll love the Zorro
I
joke.
love that one.
Never mess with Zorro.
He's super powered because of his super cool golden katana.
Yeah,
Cool.
he does find that master sword and suddenly is just the hero of Island.
it's kind of a He-Man situation.
Yeah.
Power
No,
of
it is.
Grayskull.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
crap. It is totally a He-Man situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at least he doesn't do the "I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed," when he gets the sword. But he should.
Mhm.
Yeah, he should. No,
He
100%.
should. And they leave the jungle, and as they're walking over a tight walkway, Rob Schneider is like, "Wow, it would be weird if someone tripped and fell and hit their head and died in a horrible death."
This trail is massively narrow. What if somebody fell?
Haha.
And to our disappointment, it's not Rob Schneider who gets
It's
the
not
end of that
Rob.
one. It's never Rob.
Yeah, so Tone Lock starts tripping. Okay, don't think that way. Fuck.
And the thing is, if he did start finding some shrooms and going off on his way, that's as much continuity as this movie has.
I'd be in for that. Let's
Yeah, you're like, whatever, I'm in. I have nothing else
just
to
have
lose.
Toad Lock pick up a weird mushroom in this jungle and then turn into a documentary, follow him around.
Tone Lock's stand has been unlocked. The funky cold Medina.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
They fall into this camp, this chain gang camp, where all of General Cheese soldiers are keeping people doing manual labor, and they all get captured, except for Game Gear Kid, who slides underneath the truck and unlocks his stand real quick to hack a Jeep so that he can drive it. And as Ryudo, you said this at the time, he had two things, right?
Yep. He had two quality character traits. One, the Game Gear Kid. And two, he keeps saying he wants to drive. It's like the most important thing to this kid. He's mentioned this to God multiple times. He just wants to drive. He doesn't want to start a revolution. He wants to drive.
And
If I'm
goddamn it, he
Prince, then
drives.
I don't have to have a driver's license. I can just drive, right?
Yeah. There's no laws in this land.
So he starts doing his driver's test right now and instantly fails it by running over about 6 different pedestrians, i.e. the soldiers.
It's not a fast drive either. He slowly crawls
It's really,
over.
really slow.
Oh shit! I'm stealing a car.
This is my one character trait outside of Game Gear. I want to drive. All right, good. Excellent.
Very slowly back up over 6 of them. Hey, what's up? It's really good, actually. It's so funny.
Yeah, this kid is going parking lot speed at most.
and that gives the older brother enough time to break free and start attacking the ninjas, and then everybody else breaks free, I guess, because he goes into the truck and cuts
he frees
their
everyone.
chains, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
He cuts Tone's chains, and then everyone else D-keys.
Everybody's like, "Oh, we can leave now." Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
And yeah, he beats people up. Tone Lock starts beating people up. Sagat starts beating people up. Rob Schneider fucking leaves.
And we forgot his arranged marriage wife
and
is a murderer.
Yeah,
he is violent.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
she is violent and she loves battle and blood.
And the main character just rolls his eyes like, "Oh, come on, wife, you're embarrassing me. We gotta go."
Oh, stop killing everyone.
Yes.
It's taking so much time. You're too good at this. Yeah, so they go back to the village with everybody else that they've freed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the arranged marriage girl finds the older brother and in the jungle, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, that whole arranged marriage thing, that sucks. And I hate traditional values, and this is all bullshit. So fuck that. And you know what? Good job."
Yeah, surprisingly self-aware on that aspect.
Good job.
Actually give autonomy to the main female protagonist in any 90s movie, for one, but two, in Surf Ninjas out of all movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, all my life, I've been doing everything that was expected of a traditional Patusani girl.
And?
Well, and who do my parents think they are? Telling me who I'm gonna marry. I mean, I'll decide who I'm gonna marry, not them. That is, if I marry. I mean, that was a really swell kiss and all, but I just didn't want to hurt your feelings about the marriage thing.
Well, and having it also be in a way that, like, she's not involved with somebody else or anything like that, and he's like, oh, like, so you don't want to be with her? She's like, well, no, like, we can date. It's just, you know, like...
I just don't want it to be an
I'm
arranged thing I didn't have a
15.
choice of.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it does a good job there. This is why, again, it's that neck snapping, like, back and forth of this movie, because then 5 seconds later, you'll have, like, yellow-faced cyborg
so weird.
back on the screen. And you're just like, why is that? Okay.
He was working on sharpening his turkey cutter, I think, at that time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I don't want to. That doesn't make any fucking sense either. Nothing
That never
Leslie
never
does.
came to any fruition. I'm actually a little bit surprised.
Yeah, they should have brought that back.
Right.
Ugh.
They brought so many
But-
things back.
So the younger brother is walking around with some people from the village, and he's having a epiphany with his stand that it's not only the Game Gear that tells you things; it's also the Game Gear in your heart that you bought at Toys R Us for $59.99. Or actually, it would've been like
Microplastics
$100.
are bad. They're killing all of us. We
Yeah.
don't have a Game Gear inside of us.
So he uses the power of the Sega Game Gear to materialize surfboards out of the jungle. I guess.
Yeah, it's like that Archer guy from FGO. I can't remember what that movie is called. The Million
Oh,
Swords thing.
you are the bone of my
Right.
surfboard.
Yeah, you are the bone of my surfboard. I have made over 100 planks.
Yeah. And so he makes all these surfboards, and then all the villagers are like, let's surf some, brah. And an entire army of surfing kung fu ninjas
Ninja's question
head
mark.
off. And also Rob Schneider, who has never surfed before and is always a poser, still can't surf, but is still a fucking poser. Which is great. I'm glad he has no character arc. That is fantastic. I love that.
For a movie called Surf Ninjas, it's just like such a weird like character arc, quote unquote, because he's at the front of the movie like biding his time, trying not to surf, avoiding the one surf scene that the movie has had so far. And then comes full circle, it's like, well, yeah, I can't surf. And everyone's like, yeah, well, we've all been laughing at you this entire time, which one, good. But it's just like they gave the title of the movie and the whole core point of the movie like full circle all to Rob Schneider. I was like, oh, that does not sit well with me. I hate that. I hate that so much. Why did he get to
Yeah.
learn how to surf at the end?
It's appropriation is what it is. It sucks. Anyway, so Tone Lock also says something really weird where it's like, man, brothers don't surf. What the fuck?
Damn, they came through with that. I'm both not surprised, but I'm also surprised it was in this movie.
What the? Anyway, they surf their way to the palace. Sure, whatever.
I won't lie, the scene was actually pretty cool for that many surfers at one time. I'll give him credit.
Yes.
The world, it was a good stunt, but it was to the incorrect song.
Another literal song? What do you mean it was incorrect? The song says it's correct.
They did it to like slow 80s hair rock, like a ballad about how uplifting this moment of this army of surfers is. What? It's not fun at all. What were they doing?
Their best.
But I agree with Ryudo, though. It is nice that at least that the one thing we like to try and say some good things about these movies, and I will say, like, they put in, at least for like the budget, there are extras and stuff. Like, it doesn't look cheap a lot of the time. Like, it does have a lot of that stuff going on for it, because there's some cool shots of like the 20 ninjas assaulting a house, or like the 20-30 surfers here. Like, that's actually pretty rad to have them all organized.
Yeah. Like the tricks that they're doing and the action that they're doing when they have action scenes like that are really, really cool. I am actually legitimately like impressed with that.
Yeah, so they attack the palace, and all the fighters from the Choose Your Fighter screen, the older brother, the younger brother, Sagat,
Killer
Sonya
Wife.
Blade. Yeah, I don't know. I guess she would be like Katana, maybe something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Melina, she's the murderer. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and Tone Lock, who is just Tone
Tone
Lock on the
yeah.
character.
And
They always have
General
crossover characters and
Chi,
fighters
who is-
now.
General Chi, who is like Smoke, Noob Saibot, one of the many cyborg Mortal Kombat ninjas.
Yep. And so the half cyborg samurai, General Chi, is also there with his pistol that he uses as a samurai. Sure.
Yeah.
And they all start fighting, and then at one point, the best scene in the movie happens, which is when
There's like two best moments, honestly.
there's some really good ones. Yeah, but so as they're fighting, the karate girl ends up throwing a guy down a flight of stairs, and then it zooms out, and it's like 10 flights of stairs down this mountain as he's rolling in real time all the way down.
10 feels extremely light for how many steps this is.
That was a lot of steps.
It's so funny. Like that's such a good joke. Holy shit, what a good
It's
joke.
a classic. It's a really good one, yeah. Just him falling down over and over and over and over.
And there's always the one like side badass character. We have Tone.
Yeah, she loves
This is
beating
just a
people.
JoJo arc.
Yeah.
She loves beating the shit out of people. Holy fuck.
Right.
These rules.
Wife, stop committing a murder. Let's go.
No, I have to push this guy down the stairs.
You thought you were joking about the murder. That's a murder.
She's a murderer. She's not a fighter.
Jesus. Oh, that's a corpse. That's just a corpse going down there now.
Oh my god.
More of the movie should have been that. That's what I'm upset about.
Right. They figured it out at the end, like, how can we push this over the edge? And I'm sure you're going to get to it when they rescue the real fake dad, and he has him at gunpoint.
Oh, that's true. Yes, because he's at gunpoint. General Chi walks out with the adoptive father.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm going to shoot him with my gun, like samurais do. And everybody's like, no, don't shoot him. We like him? Question mark? Psych? Maybe?
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I forgot about that scene.
Maybe? And then the younger brother's like, I have my Game Gear. How am I going to solve this problem with my psychic Game Gear problem-solving skills? Ryu, what does he do with the Game Gear? What does he do with the Game Gear?
Oh, he loads that thing up with the best batteries he possibly has and flings it like Kyber from Yu-Gi-Oh! Throwing its card right at the hand of General Chi, knocking his gun out of his hand.
It's like throwing a fucking brick at him.
I was going to say, this is the most appropriate use of a Game Gear that I've seen yet in this movie, because that thing is a goddamn weapon. It's like 30 pounds.
Yeah. Like, my suspension of disbelief did not need to do any work here. That's just real life. I would also drop my weapon of destruction, no matter what it was, if someone threw Game Gear at me. Not even my hand, just at me.
You have to. You got to protect yourself. That thing will murder you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to die out here.
So, adoptive father meets back up with Sagat and the two boys, and he's like, we should just leave. We should get out of here. And the older brother's like, no, I can't leave. And everybody's like, you know why? Yeah, you know why. It's in the book. We've said it every time in this movie. Because it's your destiny. I guess.
Fine, jeez.
You chill here with Uncle Zach. I'm going after
You
Chi.
can't go after him alone, Johnny.
He can if it's his destiny.
So he goes back and he starts fighting. And then that other guy that went down the stairs climbs back up slowly. And the older brother notices him and throws him back down the fucking stairs.
Like he wrestling throws him.
Yeah. He does a big fireman's carry and then like throws him back down. And they just, I love too that they were smart enough to just reuse the footage. Like it's just the same footage of the same like doll ragdolling down all these steps, which is, it's better when it's just reused. It's really great.
This dude deserves a raise.
I think he deserves a fall, you know.
They're definitely doing the joke again. This is actually a pretty great bit. Jesus Christ, not again! Alright.
And them acknowledging it is really good as well. I'll give it that.
I love that bit. I don't give a shit. It's such a good joke. I love it.
Mhm.
So, General Chi's only weakness is if he gets wet because of all his robotic cybernetic parts. So he's constantly saying, "Oh no, I'm wet. Oh, I'm wet. I'm fine somehow. I'm not wet anymore. This movie does not make me wet."
Haha, funny sex joke.
extremely
Except
dry.
later,
I'm extremely dry watching Surf Ninjas. And then he meets up with the older brothers. So it's Leslie Nielsen and the older brother fighting one-on-one. And the younger brother uses his Sega Game Gear to hack into the world around him and take control of Leslie Nielsen's robotic parts with his hacking Game Gear.
like Watchdog style, takes control of the arm and starts like choking Leslie Nielsen out, like with his own arm.
Just a stand.
It's just a stand.
JoJo.
Like this is just JoJo's in so many ways.
I do love a moment where he loses his gun, and the kid still has a sword, and he goes, "Hey, you've got your sword. I had my gun. Don't you want this to be a fair fight? Shouldn't you put your sword down?" And the kid puts his sword down, and Leslie Nielsen just immediately starts choking him, like
Homer Simpson style. Like,
Yeah. Like, what did you think would happen? I don't know.
You fucking dummy. Like, you leaned over, put your guard down. Of course I'm gonna fucking choke you out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You fool, you buffoon.
Just like in JoJo, the younger brother uses his hacking powers to cause his robotic arm to crush Leslie Nielsen's own balls.
And this is shown in pretty
Graphic
decent detail, honestly. You see the outline of a whole dingus.
And then he
You
pushes
sure
him
do.
he pushes him towards like a pool of water nearby. And he's
And
about
then
to fall
Leslie
in.
Leslie Nielsen looks at him, and he uses his own stand to go, "Wait, are you going to push me in the water?" And you see the yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and the older brother's like, "Nah, I guess I won't." Psych. 90s
Die, Leslie
psych.
Nielsen.
and he explodes in electrical nonsense in the water. Sure.
Yeah, they electrocute Leslie Nielsen in
They
this,
fucking kill
actually.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, he never came back from that.
So then it hard
Yeah.
cuts to the two boys being dressed up in like kingly clothing.
Royalty,
because
yeah.
they were actually not just princes, but specifically the royalty of the nation. And they get brought up in a big ceremony to the thrones, and they're having a big thing. And also, that fucking Dalai Lama guy shows back up for another Baba Ran joke for some goddamn reason. What
Full
the fuck?
circle, full circle, full circle.
Circle.
Gotta have payoff for everything.
Yeah, so like the boys are arguing, like, I don't know what to say to these people. I'm just some fucking kid from like LA or whatever. What the hell am I supposed to do? And so the little boy's just like, what up, dudes? Yeah, surf stuff. And then the older brother comes up, he's like, by the way, fuck the monarchy. I'm dissolving all this shit. We don't need no fucking monarch. Do your own goddamn life.
It's my first act as your king. I hereby dissolve the monarchy, give the government to its people. Because it's your destiny to be free.
But he gets interrupted in the middle of it, which is not unfortunate at all.
Yeah, it's true. What happens?
He just he's like, oh wait, he looks all to his right, and then there's the man shambling up the infinite flight of stairs like Mario 64, finally made up to the top with enough stars. He's like, hold on a moment, goes back down, starts heading towards the dude. The dude just says, you know what? I'm gonna sit my buns down here. I'll just roll myself down these stairs. I'll see you later. And the camera pans back out again, showing the shot of him ragdolling down the stairs. It's so good.
It's so
It's
funny.
the one joke they really fucking nail in this. Like, there's a couple of ones that are pretty okay, but man, this one is just perfect. It's pitch perfect.
I was dying.
It's so good. And then he comes back, it's like, anyways, fuck the monarchy. This is the revolution we were talking about. It wasn't just taking down Leslie Nielsen. It was also dissolving this fucking ancient crap.
Had enough.
Which, like, again, very oddly progressive for 93 Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, there's some
of
like,
all things.
Yeah.
there's those few moments where you're like, okay, yeah, no, this is great. Why didn't they do this kind of stuff? And then immediately it goes back to like, all right, now let's do a Barbara Ann joke
anyways.
for the
Right.
movie
Full
with this
circle
religious
again.
leader.
Barbara Ann is Beach Boys, right? Like,
Yes.
is that what the kids like? Beach Boys, and they're like turning the dial, looking at the audience.
80s hair metal, yeah. Like,
is that what the
80s
kids
rock.
want? Beach Boys jokes in our surfing movie, which had no surf rock.
Oh my god.
There was zero surf rock songs.
There was zero
This
surf
whole
rock.
movie.
There was opportunity. Well, I was gonna say opportunities, but opportunity, just one really.
So that's Surf Ninjas. That's the movie. There were technically some dogs.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, there was Shirt Dog, which was
Mhm.
dog on older brother's shirt, which was a very good dog, and I would wear that shirt.
Honestly, that shirt was pretty good because it was also pink. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that actually kind of rules as like
That's
a
a
shirt.
fashionable shirt. I would
Yeah.
give that shirt a would buy at Hot Topic out of 10. That's a
Oh
good
heck
shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
That man had real big, Bruce Campbell in Burn Notice energy, like Bruce
Yeah.
Campbell in Miami.
No, that's true.
I appreciated it.
Another dog I remember was Beach Dog. So there was a ninja on the beach that was going to attack them when they were surfing, and then he got hit by the surfboard and drowned.
Oh yeah.
And then his body washed up on shore, and there was a dog there looking at this ninja, be like, "Oh yeah, that's a dead ninja."
God, I
and then the
forgot
ninja
about
goes
that
back
joke.
into the water, and the dog follows it to go like eat the corpse. That's a good dog.
That's a good dog.
There's
Yeah.
a really great shot of the body getting like pulled off of scene with like this like sound, like little dog
Yeah.
like ravaging the corpse.
That is a good dog. That is a would eat a ninja out of 10 dog.
Love that dog.
Yeah. And I don't remember. Was there another dog?
There was a
There might have
dog
been more.
drawing on the fridge.
There was a dog drawing. That was a good drawing.
That was a good drawing. It was actually like legitimately for what they are
Yeah.
doing. That's a pretty good drawing. There was a
I-
hot dog stand.
I don't know if that counts.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that
And we're
counts.
not counting
Oh,
Rob
oh.
Schneider as a dog. So
Yeah, we cannot.
Not this time.
He's a bad
There-
boy. As I said,
there was
as I
one
said
more-
before,
oh, go ahead.
Rob Schneider is not a pet; he's a pest.
He's a pest.
Sorry, what was that, Ryuta?
There was one scene that I couldn't tell if there was dogs or not because I was kind of phasing out of mental existence at the time. But there's like a pack of like after they save the people, like they're cheering out of their car. Like either a bunch of goats or maybe a bunch of dogs show up. I just kind of saw furry creatures at the bottom of the screen for like half a frame before I snapped back into reality. So I
That
need
would be
to
a-
Yeah, I
count
don't
on
know
that.
about
Yeah, I would count that as a dog you see out of the side of your eye and then immediately look to.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
enough for me to catch my attention. It is dog enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, oh shit, was that a dog?
Yeah.
As you're walking by.
And then your day just gets like slightly measurably better, just like
Yeah.
one notch up. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, I want to say I really liked a lot of the action scenes in this movie. Like, as an aside, it's not, they're not amazingly choreographed, but you can actually tell the two. I want to just shout this out real quick because the Sagat and the main character, like the main kid, are Ernie Reyes Sr. and Ernie Reyes Jr., who are both. Yeah. So they're both really well-known, like, stunt coordinators and stuff. Like, they do a lot of martial arts and stunts. Ernie Reyes Jr. is in, like, TMNT, both of them, like, the first two ones.
Mhm.
And, like, did a bunch of stunt work for Indiana Jones later on and Avatar and just like, lots and lots of different things like that. Like, tons of stunt work between the two of them. So it's kind of rad. And, like, a big father-son thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
don't
awesome.
know. I just like to mention that kind of stuff.
I
It's kind of
think
neat.
all the stunt work was good.
Mhm.
The movie is not.
Also, no.
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes Sr. happens to be Akuma in the arcade and console ports of the live action adaptation of Street Fighter.
Yo, I
Oh
know
my
Akuma,
God.
Electric Blanca,
Yeah.
Electric Blanca, Rockabroken. That's I know him.
All right, so I think we're good. Rudo, would you like to shout some stuff out? Where can people find you?
Yeah. So, you can find me, just like these other two fine folk on twitch.tv/Ryudo. I'm also on for the foreseeable time on Twitter at Ryudo as well, but we'll see if we end up like going with like co-host or something like that. We'll see what the future brings on that one.
Yeah, and that's RYYUDO.
That's right.
Make sure to check them out. Great stuff. That's it for Rough Cuts. You can check us out on Twitter for now at Rough Cuts Cast. We also have a Patreon, Rough Cuts Cast. You can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com if you have any feedback or fan mail, photos, anything you want to send us that's like things you drew that are cool, fan art, that would appreciate it.
Information about shows. If we missed something, you wanted to mention something, like go right ahead, send us some stuff in.
We're also TikTok stars. We have like a view. You should check that out. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode. So thank you for listening, everybody, and checking out the podcast. We appreciate all the shares and such. I'm gonna go back to playing some Game Gear. So that's my plan.
Yeah, rock that Shinobi. You deserve it.
Oh fuck, this just says Surf Ninjas. That doesn't even sound good. Shit, no. Not even the music's good. Come on, Surf Ninjas.
Is that actually a Surf Ninjas game?
Yes. What the fuck is this?
God damn it! Like, do you actually have it? I was wondering.
Nope, this sucks.
Man,
all right,
music sucks.
Wow, what a surprise!
See you next time.
If you were colorblind and had an IQ less than 12, then you wouldn't care which portable you had. Of course, you wouldn't care if you drank from the toilet either.